Welcome to the weekly trading signals. I'd like to start the session by giving you some information about me. My name is Ihab Jubail. I was born and raised in Egypt. I have been trading for a number of years, mainly on forex and commodities, and in recent years, I have also set up my own trading robot signals and website. I host online webinars and seminars on investment and financial trading regularly, and I provide my service to subscribers worldwide. Let's start the session. Today, we have two types of signals, fundamental signals. We will start the webinar today by fundamental signals, then by technical signals. First, there will be three tradable economic news that we will be looking at this week. Tuesday at 4:30 a.m. Australian interest rate. On Wednesday at 9 p.m. New Zealand interest rate, and on Friday at 12:30 p.m. GMT time, Canada employment change. Now the first event we will be looking at this week, Australia RBA interest rate decision that will be released on 7th of June at 4:30 a.m. Australia interest rate decision is likely to keep rates unchanged, but there will be most probably further rate cuts in the near future, as inflation continues to remain soft in Australia. It's forecasted at 1.75% as previous release. How to trade this news? If RBA decides to cut interest rate by 25 basis points, we will consider making full option on the Australian dollar at 1.5%. If RBA decides to keep hike rates back to 2%, I recommend to make rise option on the Australian dollar as market is expecting an unchanged rate. We are a bit bearish on the Australian dollar as RBA has opened the door for rate cuts, and considering recent price action on crude oil, RBA definitely has room for rate cuts in next meetings. We have here Australian dollar, US dollar daily chart. As I always remind you to draw support and resistance levels before the news release. If the market breaks through these levels before news being released or during or after the same day, this means you have a better opportunity at winning the trade. As a chart, we can see the market already broke the resistance level upwards. So if we get number between, or if we don't get a change in the interest rate in this meeting, I expect the market to keep moving upwards. But if we get 1.5%, I expect the market to move downwards. Just enter the market if it's the actual release. And if we get 2%, I recommend to make rise option immediately. About the duration of your trade or option expiry is 4 days for this news. Second event we will watch this week is New Zealand interest rate that will be released on June 8 at 9 p.m. GMT. RB and Z interest rate decision is expected to cut by another 25 basis points, but since there is a small group of analysts forecasting a no change verdict, anything is possible. It's forecasted at 2%. Previous release was 2.25%. How to trade this news? Current forecasts agree that RBNZ is likely to cut the official rate by another 25 basis points at this meeting. However, in the event that Governor Wheeler surprises the market either by keep rates unchanged or cut by 0.5%, we should see an immediate strong volatility in the New Zealand dollar, which is a great opportunity to trade this currency. So we should consider making rise option at 2.25%, full option at 1.75% or less. If we get no change or as forecasted at 2%, if we get actual release as forecast release at 2%, the market should follow the pre-release trend. We have here Pound New Zealand daily chart. We draw resistance and support levels. You can see the market already broke the support level downwards. So if we get 2%, expect the market to keep moving downwards in this currency pair, Pound New Zealand dollar. If we get 2.25%, rise option, 1.75% or 1.5%, full option immediately. Canadian employment change will be released on June 10th at 12:30 p.m. We'll be getting the Canadian employment change release figure this week, and since it's not being released along with the U.S. non-farm payroll, we should see plenty of market reaction directed at this release. It's forecasted at 1,000 for previous release at minus 2,000. How to trade this news? What I am looking for is a minimum deviation of around 25,000. Deviation is the difference between the forecast number, that's 1,000, versus the actual release number. If we get a positive 26,000 of release, we should see demand for the Canadian dollar rise. Therefore, we should consider making rise option on the Canadian dollar. Rise option at 26,000 or more. And if we get negative deviation, such as minus 24,000 or worse, we should see some weakness in the Canadian dollar, and I recommend making full option on the Canadian dollar against stronger currencies at that time. I will also pay close attention to the unemployment rate, which is expected at 7.2%. As long as this number doesn't conflict with the employment change, we should follow the direction of the news release. If we get a conflict between the two numbers, such as better employment change but higher unemployment rate, then we will need to look at the context of the market and the market sentiment before the news release, before taking the trade. As usual, remember to draw the support and resistance levels before the news release. Here is pound Canadian dollar daily chart. There was no need for resistance levels because the market already broke the support level downwards. So if we get in between number between minus 24,000 to 26,000, I recommend to make full option in this currency pair, pound Canadian dollar, or Canadian dollar should keep going upwards. We will use the retracement trading method to trade this release. We will wait for the deviation, wait for the market to move with momentum first, and wait for a decent retracement before entering the market and buying the option or placing your trade. As I told you, if we don't get the deviation number, look for the context of the market. Something also important, if we get the deviation and the market doesn't react to the news by at least 40 pips within first 15 minutes after the news time, we should not enter the market or make any trade. So if we get the deviation number, we should wait to see the market to move at least 40 pips before entering the market. I have here some technical signals. Start by this signal as this chart, pound yen, 4-hour chart. We can see here the market broke the support level downwards and make what I call measuring candle that measures the distance between last top and expect the market to move the same distance. So I measured this distance, and here is measuring candle. I expect the market to keep moving downwards to the level of 149 or 149.7. You can make low option, or you can use touch or no touch trade to trade this signal. So pound yen, for our chart, expects the market to keep moving downwards to this level. Another measuring candle here, it's just the trend started to form. Here measuring candle. You should wait to see the market to break this level upwards, and I expect the market to keep moving up to this level 0.7418. This chart is Australian dollar 4-hour charts, and it would help us also with trading the interest rate from Australia. So Australian dollar, I expect the market to keep moving upwards if it breaks this level above 0.75, above 0.7359 here. Another signal, pound dollar 1-hour chart. We can see here anchor candle. It happened on Friday, and we can see the market already broke the lowest level, the open of this candle, downwards. So I expect the market to keep going downwards. The market meet anchor candle, and the market break the open of this candle, the lowest price for this candle, the open price. So I expect the market to keep moving downwards. Euro New Zealand daily chart. This strategy called 1, 2, 3 strategy. There is not uptrend, but still a strong move upwards. As you can see, this is we call number 1 in this strategy. If this peak will not be surpassed, it will become point 1 after a good move of the market upwards. You can apply also to the downwards, and it can be also 1, 2, 3 strategy in opposite direction. So now we concentrate about the signal. There is no big move, just big move, no trend of the market upwards, and this peak will not be surpassed, so it's number 1. Here is number 2. Point 2 marks the end of the counter move, and then number 3.3 doesn't go beyond point 1. Still doesn't go beyond point 1. We enter once point 2 is broken. So this is the level of point 2. The market broke point 2 level downwards, so I expect the market to keep moving downwards and make new trend downwards. Gold dollar daily chart. Gold made good move on Friday. It made a candle with no shadows. That means a strong momentum upwards. So itself, you can trade only depending on candle with no shadows in the direction of the candle. So this candle was upwards. So you should, I recommend making up trade or rise option. But it's confirmed also by regression channel strategy. We have here 2 regression channels. This for the last month and this for last 2 months. And you can see the market already broke the upper level of 1 month upper level. So I expect the market to keep moving upwards to reach 80% of this distance. So I expect the market to keep moving upwards to the level of 1,284 to this level. So you can trade it using making rise option on the gold or making touch option at this level. It will take around 2 weeks to reach this level. So the duration of our trade, you should make it as 2 weeks, 2 trading weeks, 15 days. Another example or another signal of regression channels, you can see the market broke also the last month regression channel downwards in the same direction of the 2 month channel, the blue one of Euro Yen daily charts. So I expect the market to keep moving downwards to this level 120. So I recommend you making full options on Euro Yen with duration of 1 to 2 weeks, and I expect the market to reach this level if you want to make touch trade or touch option. Like this, full option, Euro Yen, 15 days with return of 100%, so it would be good trade. You can visit my website for more information as well as the free trading signals at my website ihabjubail.com. We have now come to the end of the session. I hope you found it useful. Goodbye and see you next time.